Good evening. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. A North Las Vegas motorcycle officer is still recovering after he was knocked down by a hit-and-run driver on I-15 last night. That officer is suffering from a broken collarbone and a broken arm. Could have been a lot worse, investigators say, if not for a good Samaritan who stopped to help and stop traffic. It's our top story tonight at 6. News 3's Denise Rosh is live at UMC where the officer was taken. And Denise, we're talking about this other driver who really went the extra mile, stepped up, and maybe put himself in some danger.
Yeah, Jim and Jessica, traffic continued speeding past at 70 miles an hour on I-15 as the officer lay in the road. No question he needed help, and fortunately the right man was driving by.
We're going to pay some bills, come back on the other side.
This is where 20-year-old Miles Farlow spends much of his time.
So don't touch that dial right here, KCEP Power 88.
The studio of KCEP Radio. But Monday night, the on-air personality found himself in the middle of a police investigation.
Tons of people kept going.
First on scene after a North Las Vegas motor officer was knocked off his bike on I-15 near Washington, shattering his collarbone and arm.
He wasn't conscious when I first got there. When I first seen him, his eyes were clearly in the back of his head. He was shaking a little bit. So first thing we did, somebody grabbed a blanket. We put the blanket over him. I'm calling 911.
According to investigators, a small, possibly green car made an unsafe lane change directly in the officer's path. While it's still unknown if that car tapped the motorcycle or simply caused the officer to lose control, NHP is still calling this a hit and run. Trooper Chelsea Stunkel.
It still could be part of the crash if it was a contributing factor to the crash.
I saw the car stop for a moment, but that was the last thing on my mind. I'm thinking, okay, they're going to get out and come help. But they ended up not getting out and coming to help. They ended up just driving off once we got to the officer.
We have the chief of police here.
Today, North Las Vegas Chief of Police Joseph Chronister visited Farlow in studio, thanking him for blocking traffic and protecting his officer, even presenting Farlow his own badge.
It's not as big as theirs, but definitely, if you see me in traffic, stay off your phone.
But according to Farlow, he was simply doing the right thing.
It's a cycle, do unto others as you want done unto you.
And the name of the injured officer has not yet been released, but we know he's 45 years old and an 18-year veteran with the department. Meantime, if you know anything about the car who drove away from the scene, you are encouraged to call Crime Stoppers at 385-5555. Reporting live, I'm Denise Rosh for News 3. Let's go back to you in the studio.
Great story, Denise. We love how he's taking that mini badge seriously. He's been deputized now. He'll be looking out for trouble. I know. He apparently has this affinity for no texting. Yes. So, if you see him, keep that in mind.